You know that feeling, right? You go to bed totally pumped, thinking tomorrow's the day. And then the alarm rings, and without even thinking, your hand just hits snooze. Ugh, we've all been there. Well, today, we're going to talk about breaking that exact cycle. And we're going to do it with a tool that's so simple, it's kind of like a cheat code for your brain. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so first things first, we gotta understand the enemy here. What's this thing that's constantly sabotaging our best laid plans? Let's name it.
I mean, it's the classic scene, isn't it? You've got this great plan. You're gonna wake up early, maybe hit the gym, get a head start on that big project, but then the moment comes, the alarm goes off, and that little voice in your head just whispers, just 5 more minutes. And we all know exactly where that leads, right? Suddenly those 5 minutes have turned into an hour, and all that ambition is just gone. So yeah, let's just call it what it is, procrastination. And look, this isn't just about being lazy. It's way more than that. It's like a disease of delay. It's this destructive habit that actively undermines everything you want to achieve. It's that voice that tells you to wait. Wait for the right mood. Wait for the perfect time. Wait for motivation to strike. But here's the thing. None of that is guaranteed. It might never come.
But what if there was a way to just short-circuit that whole process, to bypass all the excuses and the waiting? Well, there is. It's a super practical tool. It's backed by science, and literally millions of people use it. It's time to talk about the 5-second rule.
Okay, so here's the big idea. You have to understand that our brains are basically wired to keep us safe. And safe means avoiding anything that's difficult or scary or uncertain. So when you get an idea, an instinct to act on a goal, you've got this tiny little window, about 5 seconds, before your brain hits the emergency brake and just floods you with a million reasons not to do it. This rule, it's all about launching yourself into action before that happens.
So, the second you feel that instinct, whether it's to get out of bed, to speak up in a meeting, or to just start that project, you start counting. Backwards. 5. And as you're counting, what you're really doing is shifting the gears in your mind. You're overriding all those doubts. 4.
You're literally moving from that state of hesitation and into a state of action. 3.
Think of it like a launch sequence. You're just focusing on the numbers, not the scary thing you have to do. 2.
This is it. The final moment right before ignition. 1. Go! And that's the key. The second you hit 1, you have to physically move. Don't think, just move. Stand up, walk over to your desk, put on your running shoes. Whatever it is, that physical action is what snaps you out of your head and into the real world. It's the game changer.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Counting backwards? That's it? That sounds way too simple. And you're right, it is simple. But there's some really cool brain science behind why this little trick is so incredibly powerful. Let's break down how it actually works.
See, when you count backwards, you're actually forcing your brain to focus. It's an act that requires concentration. And that concentration is enough to interrupt those negative thought loops. You know, the ones that tell you you're too tired or you'll do it later. It's like you're changing the channel in your brain. You're switching away from the I don't feel like it channel and tuning into the okay, let's do this channel. And by doing that, you're waking up the part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. That's the CEO, the part that makes logical, deliberate decisions.
And this gets to the biggest lie we've all been told about productivity, that you have to wait for motivation to strike. That's just not true. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Motivation doesn't lead to action. Action creates motivation. Think about it. Motivation isn't some magical spark that shows up. It's the fire you build after you get started. This rule forces you to take that first tiny action, and that action is what creates the very motivation you were waiting for.
Now here's a small but really important detail. Why count backwards? Why not just count up? 1, 2, 3. Well, think about it. If you count up, you can just keep going. 4, 5, 6, there's no end. But when you count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're creating a clear endpoint. You're building a launch pad. It's a signal to your brain that when you hit 1, it's over. Thinking time is done. It's time to do.
You know, this rule isn't just some abstract theory from a textbook. It was actually born out of a moment of complete, real-life desperation. And honestly, that's what makes its origin story so powerful.
So the woman who came up with this, Mel Robbins, she was at rock bottom. I mean, everything was falling apart. Her business, her relationships, she was depressed. She couldn't even summon the energy to get out of bed in the morning. And that's a feeling I think a lot of us can understand, even on a smaller scale.
And then one night, she randomly saw a commercial on TV for a rocket launch. And that countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it just stuck in her head. So the very next morning, when the alarm went off and her hand started moving toward the snooze button, she decided to try something different. She just started counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then she launched herself out of bed, just like that rocket. And believe it or not, that one tiny 5-second decision, it was the beginning of her turning her entire life around. It just goes to show you don't always need some huge dramatic event to make a change. Sometimes all it takes is 5 seconds of courage.
And look, this is so much bigger than just waking up in the morning. Think about all those little moments of hesitation throughout your day. You know, when you want to speak up in a meeting but you don't, or when you see someone you want to talk to but you hesitate. That difficult conversation you know you need to have. Heck, maybe even recording your first video. In every single one of those moments, you can use this rule to push right past that fear and just go for it.
All right, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now let's get to the doing.
I want to give you a simple but really powerful challenge so you can make this rule a real part of your life, starting, right now. Here's the challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to pick one thing, just one thing you've been putting off. And the very moment you think about doing it and feel that hesitation creep in, you know what to do. Start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then you physically move. The goal here is simple, to prove to yourself that you are the one in control, not your moods. Every time you do it, you're going to build a little more confidence and a little more self-trust.
Because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. You don't become what you think about. You don't become your good intentions. You become what you do. And when you repeatedly choose action over hesitation, even in these tiny little moments, you are fundamentally changing who you are.
So we're at the end of our explainer, but for you, this is just the beginning. Your 5 seconds start right now. So what's it going to be? What's that one action you're going to take? Is it making that call? Opening that book? Starting that workout? Your 5-second window is open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's your move?